I now have the privilege of introducing our speaker today, Trish Smith. It is with great pleasure that I'm so sorry I lost my place. Trish Smith is an amazing healer, medium, and teacher. Trish was born with the gifts to see spirit and started seeing them from a very early age. She's been a practicing professional psychic medium since the 1980s and has lived in Cassadaga area for many years. Trish lives here in the camp, just down the street, where she sees clients regularly. Please join in welcoming Trish Smith.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It's great seeing you guys here. If I start coughing, I apologize in advance. There's something in the air that's just getting my allergies going. Or you could look at it as a friend said, well, if you cough, it's you're just getting rid of negativity out of the air. So that's good too. Personal responsibility. Those who don't know, I channel. And sometimes they just give me a word and I have no idea ahead of time what I'm going to talk about. And I just heard personal responsibility. And now I'm seeing a globe. So what I'm getting with that is our microcosm and the macrocosm are all reflections. What we put out, if we're thinking less about ourselves, we're attracting that type of energy. But imagine hundreds of millions of people having that same mentality, that they are less. So what is that doing with the macrocosm? Doesn't that bring negativity around the world? What are we experiencing? So how does the universe bring balance in that? Because if you've studied natural law, you know that that happens. When something leaves, it's replaced or with something that is reorganized. There has to be balance. Not too many days ago, on the 12th, as a matter of fact, we had a solar eclipse, we had a comet, we had the Perseid meteor showers, we had a total alignment of all the planets and the North Node, which is something that's extremely rare. I think it happens like once every 25,000 years. That is one time that the universe was bringing in balance and extra energy, positive, powerful energy. So if we use our energy, if we catch ourselves gossiping or thinking down about ourselves or a situation or thinking, gee, I can't do that, that'll never happen, or when we have repetitive thoughts of that nature, think of bringing in the balance, taking a deep breath, going, wait a second, I don't have to accept that thought. I have the ability to change it. And by doing that, I can change my life. Thoughts are things, and everything we think, say, and do can be changed. It depends upon us. It's our responsibility. Everything that we do is our responsibility, the same as everything we don't do. How many times have you tried to save someone else because they weren't doing things that they needed to do for their own benefit, but because they weren't doing it and because they had asked for your help, you figured, well, I've got to do that. No, because they're not learning the lesson. That's their responsibility. You can guide them, you can give them advice, but they have to do the work. We all have to. That'd be like interfering with a child trying to learn how to walk. It's like, no, I'll walk for it. so it doesn't have to go through possibly falling down and getting a bruise or something. We can't do that. That's not the way the universe works. That's not how we learn. Because every time we have those little bumps, we learn, oh, that's hurts. That's something I don't want to keep doing. I have to figure out how to do it better so that doesn't happen. And that's what life is about, isn't it? We have to pay attention and we have to learn to grow. And we have to say, you know, this situation isn't exactly what I want it to be. How can I change it? Or do I need to get away from this situation entirely? But we can also learn to think ahead, get to know ourselves. What do I want in my life now? And when we learn to do that, we can also draw that attention, that energy for what we want into our lives. So we attract things that are more beneficial to us. So when things don't happen right, don't beat yourself up. Just stop and think, step back mentally and emotionally. Okay, do I need to do something? Or am I doing something that I shouldn't be doing? Those times are going to help you understand what's going on in your life and what you want in your life a lot better. You'll be a lot happier, you'll be more successful, and that doesn't totally mean financial. You can be successful in your relationships, you can be successful in things that you want to accomplish on a personal level that have nothing to do with finances or anything, just joy. And that's another thing we need to have in balance. Many times I'll see clients and they're so focused on trying to make ends meet. And I understand, especially when the economy's down, you have to focus on that. However, that drains your energy. If you don't devote some time to personal pleasures, things you enjoy doing, you're not going to have the strength to keep putting it all into trying to make a living. You have to have that balance because that recharges you, that refills your cup. And when you start doing that more often, you're going to see that your work gets done more efficiently, more effectively, and you have extra time. Doesn't matter if you sit outside and have a cup of coffee or tea and just appreciate nature. And the universe loves gratitude. Say, hey, I love it. I love the sky. I love the squirrels running around, the birds. Little things like that, the universe appreciates. When you show appreciation, they're going to give you more of what you asked for. Because they figure, hey, that person appreciates, so they deserve a little more. If you're constantly asking and you're not appreciative, that's going to slow down how soon things come into your energy. Just think about it. What if somebody was constantly asking you for help? Can you help me with this? Can you help me with that? Can you loan me some money? Can you do this? And then when you need something, oh, they're never available. Wouldn't you kind of dry up your capabilities toward them? Because it doesn't do you any good to let yourself be a doormat. You have to respect yourself if you want others to respect you. And that's part of being responsible, because everything should come from a higher vibration if we want things to be positive and successful or calming and joyful in our life. Just think of all the things that are a higher vibration. They're all love-based. And part of that is being appreciative of who you are, respecting yourself so that you're attracting that respect from other people. If you're showing disharmony towards others, it's going to come back to you, as it should. When you show disrespect because you haven't taken the time to get to know somebody, and you just make a snap judgment and you just keep it that way, well, what do you think that's doing for your energy? But on the other hand, if you take a moment to be aware of that person and how that person treats others and how that person is interacting, or maybe introduce yourself, then you're showing them respect, and that opens the door for respect for yourself. And it also means that sometimes you have to speak out for yourself too. Anybody ever do something at work or whatever and somebody else took credit? That is so annoying, especially if it's your boss. And then it's like, okay, I'll have to handle this differently next time. So that's also a part of personal responsibility. We have to be aware that there's people out there that do that. Some of them are well aware of it, and some of them it's just like a habit. But when you get to know and understand different personalities, then you also are understanding of yourself as well. Because when you make yourself aware of others, you're making aware your ability to read energies and how people respond to things. So that helps you be you in a more positive manner. It gives you the ability to be more of an uplifting individual, or at least calmer and more accepting, but not a doormat. And that's what we all can achieve. And the more of us that try and do that, the more that will spread out. One thing I learned in marketing many, many years ago is if you talk to 10 clients and 2% of them, or 2 of them at least, sign on the dotted line, that still has that ripple effect. So that's a good deal, and you should be proud of that. So when we get 1 or 2 people to listen, when we're trying to be positive or uplifting, if they talk to other people and they get 1 or 2 people to listen, that also is that ripple effect. Like tossing the stone into the pond. And that's what we want. Because, excuse me, right now, the world has not only natural disasters going on, but we have many conflicts as well. You can't not know it in today's world that there's a lot that needs to be fixed. But how do we fix it? I won't get into politics, so I'm getting into personal energy. We change our energy, make sure we're doing the highest and best that we can do. And that will cause that ripple effect so that that can start going worldwide. And then we can make a difference. And we can talk about it too online. Occasionally, I try and do that. Send positive thoughts and ask people to send positive thoughts out. And all those little things can make a difference. I remember once, about 2 years ago, I had a vision of something traumatic that was going to happen somewhere in the world. And I knew it would impact a lot of people. So I put on Facebook, okay, all the healers, I want you to try and send healing energy out. And I can't remember if I've focused in to that area of the world or if I just said around the world. But I got over 1,400 people responding, saying they were sending healing. About an hour later, I saw a news flash of a major earthquake that suddenly had started to impact that area, and it was just really weird. It stopped. I'm going, well, I know where that healing went to. It went right to where I was feeling. So anything that we do, if we keep ourselves balanced and positive, it's going to send out the right vibration. And then we can make wonderful things happen. We can manifest in a much more positive manner. And that's what we all need. And it looks like my time is up. And I didn't cough. So I thank you all. Have a wonderful day.